I kind of really identified with Snot Girl mostly because my allergies get so bad that I have nosebleeds. I'm constantly using tissues. Like, my nose is running right now.
Like, it interrupts your life.
It really does.
You just want to live your life, but you have to, like, sneeze 7 times in a row. You're standing there doing your stuff, and your nose just starts running down your face. And whenever that happens, of course, there's no, like, appropriate tissue. So you have to, like...
That's the move, just...
I know. I found out that I could just stick tissue on my nose, and then it solves the problem, but... People think that's really weird. Like,
that's what Snot Girl does.
Why are you doing that? And I'm like, you don't know my life. You don't know how difficult it is.
The writing style. So, Bryan Lee O'Malley. He came from the world of...
Scott Pilgrim.
Scott Pilgrim.
And I know Scott Pilgrim.
From what I understand, this is his first monthly publication.
Yeah.
And, which is interesting, since he himself said it's just like this new endeavor he's taking on, and I wouldn't have guessed that from reading 1 and 2. I did really like the writing style. I enjoyed the drama of it.
Yeah, because it's like, he writes how this girl is thinking a lot, and that's kind of how I think. Like, she's so, like, hard on herself, and she's just...
There's a lot of self-conflict.
Yeah, a lot of inner conflict.
A lot of inner conflict. The other thing I really liked about it was, in terms of the writing style, I feel like it kind of makes you feel like you're when you're like not spying, but like you get this little insight into someone's life, and they might not know. Because you kind of like overheard.
You are definitely looking through my messages.
You kind of overheard like a conversation with someone. It happens all the time when like out in public, you kind of overhear someone's life because they're talking about it so loud. It's kind of interesting. It's kind of how I feel when I read this.
The other interesting thing about how it's written is that you really see the duality of your real life and your social media life.
Mm-hmm.
And since Snot Girl is so, she has such inner turmoil, like what she is to the internet world is completely different than who she actually is, and she knows it, and she's very self-conscious about it. And
yeah.
I think that like expresses how a lot of people feel about social media.
That really plays into what the plot is. Like that's essentially part of the main plot is just the inner conflict that you have with having this social media facade, and I feel like I might get bored with the plot essentially because of that. I don't like to follow, or I like to be myself in social media. I'm not into that whole fake world.
And listen to cool. When we post on our Instagram, it's like, yeah, this is real,
like
this is us. We're not doing it for, well, we are doing it for likes, because everyone's doing it for likes, but we're not, like, trying to impress people.
I think we are trying to impress you.
I think we want you to like us, but, like, we're not, I don't know, it's authentic, but it's still, like,
yeah,
it's just like a highlight reel. And a highlight reel isn't the real life. You know, I'm not going to show you when I'm, like, all tissues up my nose. Actually, I've done that on Instagram, so never mind.
That is the problem with social media, though. And I think that's what makes this comic interesting. That it's actually bringing that forward and bringing it to light. The plot takes a turn that you don't expect. Like, I really didn't know anything about this comic going into it. I just thought it was interesting in terms of being Snot Girl and the girl with allergies, and I didn't expect the plot to be what it was at all.
Yeah, I didn't expect it to go where it went.
I thought it was just going to be just like a social drama type of thing.
Yeah, that's how I felt too. But then I don't know. I felt like there was going to be something darker. I was like, is she going to get superpowers? Is like something terrible going to happen to her? Speaking of fashion and art, how did you feel about Leslie Hung's art?
So it was very anime. That's literally the best way I can describe it. But I really liked it. I liked how it looked. I felt like it was very character focused in terms of art. which makes sense because it's such an appearance-based storyline. Like, everything's appearance-based. Your social media presence, the fashion world, it's all appearance-based. So it makes sense that there aren't many backgrounds in the art, and it's just character-driven, character-focused, which I really like her outfits. Not gonna lie.
Some of them I like. Some of them I'm just like, oh, that's so 90s. Like,
but that's what's in right now.
I know.
So good job, Leslie. You know your trends right now.
Well, she did say that she did do a lot of research into fashion blogging and into fashion itself, and like how fashion bloggers like pick out the smallest details and how, like, the type of fashion that they replicate.
That's a lot of work. I don't think I could be a fashion blogger. I think there's a lot of growth potential for her character. I just really hope I don't get bored.
She's like such a good character, and I wish that they would develop the other characters a little bit more and like take the focus off of her, which they kind of do in the second issue, a little bit at the end.
You get to learn why their names are their names.
You learned that in the first one.
Is that the first one?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She gives everyone their names. And she explains it. But I didn't even notice that there weren't any backgrounds, that I was like so enthralled by the character. The colors are so bright.
Yes, the colors are very bright.
It's like the kind of colors where like you're in a toy store and they make something that color because they know you're going to gravitate towards it. That's what I really like about it.
I think that's why I think it's very anime.
What was really well done was SNOTGIRL's inner voice and her expression of her feelings, and like how she's, even though she's like this huge fashion blogger and she's famous, that she just had like some social anxiety. So
I read SNOTGIRL while drinking Starbucks, just to get in the mood and the air of this comic, and I really thought it was entertaining. I enjoyed it. I do want to continue reading it. Let's see, do you think there's anything that can improve?
I think the plot can move along a little bit faster. I don't know.
Well, they probably wanted to just build up the characters in these 2 issues. And now, in the 3rd one, it's kind of going to get juicy. I think it's going to get juicy.
Okay. Then we'll see in the 3rd one.
We'll see in number 3. But overall, I think I would rate this as 6.5 out of 8 pizza slices. 6.5 because it's not a 7. Yeah, I like everything about it, but like I said, I do think I can get bored.
I would give it a 6.
Alright. So you didn't like it as much as I did?
Like, I just felt like with what happens at the end of the 1st issue and the 2nd issue, they don't really raise the stakes. And that's where I felt there could be improvement.
Okay.
And then I don't see you... And you have to read it. I don't want to give it away. I don't want to spoil it.
No spoilers. That's what we thought about SNOTGIRL 1 and 2. Stay tuned for our next review. And
subscribe, like, comment. What do you want us to read?